Hey everyone, welcome to Cool on the Internet, Even Cooler IRL, the show where I bridge the gap between the internet and real life. I'm so lucky to have made so many wonderful friends across the internet space, but I'm even luckier that so many of those friends I've made online, I actually am great friends with IRL, or in real life. So the whole goal of this show is to meet with my educational technology friends in person, bring along the camera, so that way when we talk about education, EdTech, 21st century learning, and the like, you can come right along too and learn with me and my great friends. So let's get rolling. Hey everyone, so back in April, I went up to Mountain View for the Google Innovator Energizer. So it was a one-day event where innovators from all different classes got to meet together to learn more about some stuff coming up at Google. And while I was there, I got to talk with my good friend Josh Harris. So he is an EdTech director in Salinas. And we had a really cool conversation about Google Innovators and the Energizer and some other cool stuff thrown in. So I hope you like it. Hey everybody, it's me, and I'm here with Josh Harris, EdTech Spec on Twitter, and we are at the San Pedro Square Market. So we just had a great lunch together after attending the Google Innovator Energizer event in Mountain View, California. So Josh, first off, before we start talking about the Energizer, what was your Google Certified Innovator experience like?
My cohort was Colorado 16, Col 16, represent. Hashtag Boulder and Boulder, never caught on.
It should have though. That was a really good hashtag.
It was a really good hashtag.
I liked it.
So what was my innovator experience like? It was really interesting. Like, unlike the current, they're taking applications for LAX right now, LAX 18, which is in Venice, and we were still like coming in with projects, and then there was a lot of emphasis on design thinking and your pivot and what have you learned new right now, and it was interesting to watch. Like, I'll start out by saying, like, not because I think I'm such an awesome planner or anything, but I didn't really have a pivot. I just learned things about design thinking that I didn't know, but I felt like everything I was learning was like, yes, this is the right track. It was like, you have an education piece, you have community outreach piece, you have an experience learning piece. Like, this is a legit need. The legit need was to serve teachers coming out of credential programs who get, like, zero EdTech experience or training or any sort of focus, like not necessarily Google tools or Apple tools, but like they weren't getting SAMR, they weren't getting TPAC or 4Cs or any of that. So like combining all that with some DigSit, with some classroom management, partnering with universities and for student teaching opportunities in real life one-to-one environments. And then I got this other job.
Yes.
And then that
everything changed.
Yeah, and everything changed. So like I didn't have anybody's fault, but my own ambition and need to apply for higher level jobs. Like it ended up being like, yeah, if knew I'd had that job ahead of time, I would have had a different focus on
Yeah. I think that's one of the things too that's interesting about the innovator community is like there are some admins in there, but there aren't a lot of admins that are serving the community as mentors or coaches. So in your situation, they weren't able to find you a mentor that was going to be able to give you really what you needed. But then also too, a lot of admins don't necessarily think of applying for Innovator because they think it's just a...
It's okay to be a person. Look around you at all the smiling people. Feel good.
You gotta love San Jose, folks.
For a second, he sounded kind of like Rick from Rick and Morty. And I was like, what?
Is there a Rick and Morty live show?
I was like, what's happening? Okay, but I think the other thing about that though is there aren't a lot of admins that are applying to be a part of the innovator community because they think it's solely
teacher thing, and it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's open to anyone in education. So as long as you work in a school, not even a public school, you could work in a private school, you could work in a charter school, whatever. You know, as long as you have that passion, you're welcome in this community. And we need that in this community, because it's like, just like anything else, if you have just one voice, or one voice representing one group, it's not going to be as valuable as if you had more voices.
Right. So what is it that we were all saying? I'm like, I cannot tell you how awesome it is to be around, you know, our particular little circle, but just all the people that we don't ever get to see unless we are working an event ourselves.
Yeah.
Like you and I did that.
It was really nice to not have to present, to just sit and learn, and to be surrounded by people that, you know, are in similar jobs, have been through a similar experience, and not necessarily like-minded, because I don't, you know, we don't all agree on the same things, but just...
For sure, but we definitely are in a part of a spectrum.
Yeah.
When it comes to like innovation and the role of technology and innovative teaching and moving practices forward, I feel like, sure, we're not all on the same page on everything, but like that was our tribe, and like that spark we did was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And was not, like, it didn't feel like work. It didn't feel like presenting.
No, it did not.
No one was going to fill in an eval on it.
Yeah, it was nice. Because at the Energizer, they do what's called the Spark Camp, and it's 5 sessions, each 30-minute block, and they do it for 3 blocks. So there's up to 15 sessions.
Right.
And it's on anything you want to present. So some people did yoga, some people did soccer, some people did podcasting.
There was like dancing.
There was dancing. There was just a bunch of stuff to like spark your creativity, or to spark a new usage of a tool. And
or just any skill. And like Tom Mulaney from San Francisco Unified, SFUSD represent, I keep putting my hands in your face.
I know, it's kind of funny.
It's a little rude. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm hoping I can like slow-mo it at some point.
But he did Jamboard. I don't know if you went to that.
I did not go to it because I talked to him about it in the morning, and I actually downloaded the Jamboard app on my touchscreen Google Chromebook, and I used it to take notes during the morning session, and I actually really liked it. It felt really intuitive. It was really easy to use, and the fact that it's collaborative and that you can, you know, sync it across platforms, I thought that was really cool. And
it was.
I'm excited to like use it some more.
It was really cool. It was also really cool to be in a room of people with those sorts of tech skills, all going, "That's cool. Ooh, I like this." Like just all of us sort of getting that new shiny tool thing out of the box. Which, by the way, I feel like has team purpose, team mastery, team autonomy implications. I felt like I was having this. Like, if you know me, you already heard the spiel, but like what I just said was based on the work of Daniel Pink, and I feel like there's...
Do you have a blog post I can link to in the description about that?
I have been talking about that blog post for a couple years now, and maybe I will try to write it.
Oh, I thought you actually wrote it.
No, it's all written in my head. Don't procrastinate, because then you're going to find yourself on a blog with unlinkable things in your head.
Hashtag posted, not perfect.
Yeah.
You can always revise it later.
Yeah, fair point. Now it'll be a race to write it before you log this. But it's basically this idea that like there are people who want to master something before they're okay to like use it. People who, that's team mastery. Team purpose is like, I don't need to know what every button does. I don't need to know every little thing. Just like show me why. Why do I care about this? And then autonomy, and we don't get a lot of team autonomy in public education because public education does not reward autonomy. But team autonomy, people just kind of don't want you to show them. They're just like, show me this tool, tell me it's cool, and then they want to figure everything out on their own. So yesterday was really like, in 30 minutes, it wasn't until like the last 10 minutes that somebody went, so what are you doing with this in the classroom? But by then I think a lot of us had ideas, but all of us were just, that was definitely a team mastery, a little spark, because it was like, oh, look at this, and look at this cool thing it'll do, and then, oh my God, this, and blah, blah, blah. And this is what I say about team mastery people. You show me all the things it will do, and then I will get the ideas of what I want to do with it in the classroom or wherever.
Well, I think sometimes too, like when you're at a session, I almost prefer the session sometimes to be team mastery, because like the examples you may give me might not match the context in which I work.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I'm sure I could get something from your examples, but if we only have an hour together, like sometimes I just want to know
Yeah,
the
just
things.
show me all the cool crap.
Yeah, like
Right?
I like a tool-based session, and I like a pedagogy-based session, and I like a why-based session. And I don't, you can blend all three together, but then depending on how much time you got, that can be really hard because you're going to do one of those things some sort of disservice.
Right. So, but that's what here's why I brought that up. We were talking about the dancing, yoga, or soccer, football, and the whole rest of the world. But then, and ours was just like spice up your PD / here's a different way to train. And it didn't require a lot of work on our part, didn't require a lot of work on their part, but it was, that our session was all about the idea of creative constraint. And so it was like, you can only use this many tools, you only have this much time, address these problems, which kind of like, we accidentally did a design thinking spark. Put in action, right? It was like, what's your problem? Because the curveballs, what's your problem? What are you trying to fix?
So we did a chopped Innovator session where, just like on the show, you had your basket ingredients, you had your pantry, and then I threw in this idea of the curveball because inevitably somebody cuts their finger, somebody,
switches to salt and sugar.
Yeah. So I'll put the link to that down in the description below so you can see the slides, so you can see how we ran the activity, and then also see what people came up with during our Energizer. All right, well, thanks, Josh, for hanging out with me, and also thank you for taking me to the airport so that way I could get home.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Much appreciated.
For sure.
But you can check out all of Josh's social handles and whatnot down in the description below. And big thanks to you for being here, and we'll see you next month. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey everyone, and that's it. We're done with today's episode of Cool on the Internet, Even Cooler IRL. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And all the information you need to know from today's episode will be down in the doobly-doo. See you next time.